A federal jury begins deliberations today over the sentence for the 2018 Pittsburgh synagogue shooter, and at least 11 people have died in flooding in Beijing's western suburbs. Good morning, I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. A federal jury opens deliberation today on the sentence for the man who shot and killed 11 Jewish worshippers at a Pittsburgh synagogue in 2018. From member station WESA, Julia Zenkovich reports jurors could decide he should receive the death penalty.
In their closing arguments Monday, prosecutors argued that Bowers has shown no remorse for committing the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. They also contend that the aggravating factors, including Bowers' anti-Semitic and white supremacist beliefs, outweigh the mitigating factors, such as any mental health issues he may have. Defense lawyers reminded jurors that they must weigh mitigating and aggravating factors and come to an individual moral judgment. They say Bowers' tumultuous childhood and mental illnesses should persuade the jury to sentence him to life in prison. For NPR News, I'm Julia Zenkovich in Pittsburgh.
Police in Memphis, Tennessee, shot and critically wounded a man who had opened fire at the building of a Jewish school yesterday. He had tried and failed to get inside. No one in the Memphis Jewish school was hurt. Federal health officials want to find out more about the condition known as long COVID. NPR's Will Stone reports they've launched a handful of new studies to test different potential treatments.
The National Institutes of Health is opening enrollment in 4 clinical trials. One is exploring the theory that the virus somehow persists in the body after the infection. Patients will be given the antiviral Paxlovid to see if that improves their symptoms. Another focuses on brain fog and cognitive dysfunction, leveraging web-based brain training programs and a popular brain stimulation method. Other trials will look at drugs that could improve sleep problems, as well as symptoms associated with irregular heartbeat, dizziness, and fatigue. While there are specialized clinics for treating long COVID, there are still huge gaps in our understanding of its underlying causes and how to treat it. Will Stone, NPR News.
Searing heat is sticking around the central U.S. today. Heat indexes will hover around 110 degrees from Kansas and Missouri down to the Gulf Coast of Alabama and Louisiana. Forecasters say this heat will push to the east. In China, at least 11 people have died and dozens more are missing amid flooding in the western suburbs of Beijing. NPR's Awen Cao has more.
The intense rain has prompted Beijing to close tourist attractions like the Forbidden City, but the most affected areas are the city's outer districts. Riverbeds that usually stay dry for much of the year were overwhelmed by downpours. Around 120,000 people in vulnerable communities have been evacuated to school gyms, according to state media. The city's government announced on Tuesday that 2 rescue workers were among those killed. This level of rainfall is highly unusual for Beijing, a city that enjoys a dry climate. However, more and more northern regions in China have reported floods in recent years. Awen Cao, NPR News, Beijing.
This is NPR.